Okay guys, so TyFlow just came out like 3 or 4 days ago. Although I don't have much time to play with everything, I wanted to try out the cloth solver, and I think it's really good. It's very art directive, and there are a lot of things that you can control with it. By the way, TyFlow is still in beta, so you can just go ahead and download it. It's free even for the commercial purpose. Yeah, that's quite crazy. Like even if our studio is going to use it for the next project, so you can just download and start with it. Although it's in beta, you can expect some bugs. Although there are not many bugs, I mean most of them are getting fixed like on a daily basis, but still I don't think you will have any problem following this tutorial at least. Okay, so what I want is like I want to show you how this cloth thing works and how can you make this cloth tearing effect. So this will be my cloth and these will be two boxes, and I'll rig them, I mean I'll just animate them in such a way that cloth is going to be attached with it, and when we move it up and down, the cloth is going to wave and it's going to tear apart. Okay, so I'll just keyframe it. So this will go up and this will go down. Okay, so now we will launch TyFlow by clicking its icon and dragging it on the viewport. Open the UI, and the first thing that I want to tell you is like make sure your plane is having at least 50 segments for the width and 50 segments for the height. And then what I want is like I want this shape to be my cloth. So I don't want to generate any particles. I just want this shape. So I will take a bird shape operator and I'll pick my plane. So that's it. Now I can just hide my plane. Hide, and you see we have a small dot. You can change it to geometry, but I don't think you need to do that because uh, as soon as we will apply a cloth modifier, it's going to make geometry itself. So if I use this cloth blind, sorry, cloth bind, not blind, it makes a geometry for you. Okay, so that's it. Uh, it's now a cloth. It's dynamic, but right now it's not connected to these particles. Sorry, these boxes. So, like if you have used Maya or M particles in Max, you just what you do is like you just take these particles and just attach them to the box very easily. But the thing is like whenever you want to change it, you just need to go back and you just again you have to reselect them and then you have to do all those process. It's easy, but the sad part is like it's not very tweakable. The good thing about node-based system is, or event-based, like you just do it once, you set up it once, although it takes time, but it's you can tweak a lot. Even if you change one thing above the tree, it's going to affect everything below it. So what I want to do is now that I'll take what I'll do is like I'll tell these boxes to do a search for particles, and uh, the particles. Okay, so the first thing before I want to tell you like when how the cloth solver works is like it takes a shape and it converts it into particles. You can see this. All these vertices are like they are now having some particles on it, and if you display this, these particles are making some constraint which are having their own brain, their own characteristics, and they can react to each other, they can react dynamically to each other. They'll tell each other that if you have some force you can break. Also make sure if you are using 17 or any higher version, viewport is set to performance, otherwise I've been seeing some issues with the geometry display and I thought it's cloth and I was going mad over it. Then I saw like it's max, what sucks. Okay, so that's it. Now what I'll do is I'll add an object test. Uh, Not here, sorry. I'll add an object test into this event, and I'll take these objects. And what they will do is like they will whatever test gets true, they will output something. And if you want to see that output, you need to add this display icon, display node, and you need to connect. the test, the output test to this new event, and I just want to see them as red color. Okay, so you see, if you have used like TyFlow or maybe thinking particles, there is a search operator. This object test does the same thing. It just takes an object and it search for nearby particles or even the objects. So now what I want to do is I don't want to search them radially. Now I want to search them like linearly. So I'll change it to X. Although I don't know why it's taking X, it should take Y. I don't know if it's a bug or maybe it's made like that. But for the time being, we will just use the X axis. So if I increase the distance, you will see these particles are getting searched by my object. So right now nothing will happen obviously because right now we have just tested those particles, but now we want those particles to get bind with the object. So we will use an object bind, which is here, and if you see now we will pick the object because right now we are just outputting the particles. Now we are telling the object bind to use those particles to bind with the object. Now you will see uh, it's behaving like a cloth because it's stretching and doing all the things that a cloth will usually do. So that's it. Although what you can do is like you can even add a particle switch to this. So what will happen is like all these particles which are being searched, they will just turn inactive due to, sorry, I add particle physics. It's particle switch. So they will deactivate and there won't be any cloth. They will just be static particles. So you won't get any mess over here happening near the surface. Okay. So now if we go to the cloth bind, and if we these are the like binding stiffness, this is like same in every software. Like if you increase the binding stiffness or binding, these are like they work on the resistance, they work on the opposite way. Like if you increase the stretch, it's not like they are going to stretch more, they are going to stretch less because you are increasing the stretchy stiffness. So I usually keep them like all of them same and they work just fine for me. Although you should play with all these settings for the look you are going. Like I'll show you one thing. If I increase them all to 1 and if I play this, you will see these artifacts. And this is because my cloth is not having any like stretchy behavior. They are just my cloth is just being rigid. And if you like pull apart, like for most of the cloths are like they are rigid only, like except like rubber cloth and all those. And if you like pull them apart with force, obviously they will break. But here we are not telling them that they should break, and that's why they are being angry and they're saying, okay, then we won't display properly because that's not how nature works. So we will leave it to zero point 0.5, or maybe even you can do it to let I'll keep it to 1 only, and you will see how these artifacts will go away because right now you are you are trying to tear them on, also you are saying not to tear. Okay, then if I go to the tearing tab and if I enable cloth tearing, you will see it's going to break, and now we are not having any artifacts because now it's working naturally. All right, so that's cool. Right now these pieces are flying because I don't have any gravity. So let's add on gravity and make this 10 to -2. Now don't ask me why we have to make it -2 and not positive. Again, that's how this software works. Like you need to put the gravity into minus value. Okay, so now you can see our cloth is steering, but it's steering just right away. Also, like I just wanted to show you like how this stretch works. So I'll maybe put it back to zero point 0.5 for all of this, and I think even less for the bend. Okay, still like it's just steering right away as soon as it's having some force. So what we can do is either you can just increase this maximum percentage, which will say like it's going to get even stronger. Now it will not tear so easily. But I think you should keep it to like 150 only, or maybe it can vary from the scene scale. If I like increase, this is like very good thing. I have not seen this in many software, but like if you, it says like if the stretch is for for some frames, so for some particular frames, it will only tear then. Okay, so if I say for 3 frames, only when the stretch remains for 3 frames or more, it's going to tear, which will give like even nicer results. Also, I can go to my object distance and I'll just like do it a little bit less and I'll turn this off. Okay, so you see now it's looking like a cloth, but again it's breaking very easily. And this is where the power of cloth solver uh, in every software works. That is like using a map. We can define the area where we want our cloth to break. So we will go to material and we will get material. Click on get material and you can add a noise. In fact, you can add any piece of texture you want. It should be black and white. Also, make sure when you're working with 3ds Max, put your source to explicit map channel. Uh, then only it will behave properly with what's being displayed and what's being done under the hood. Okay. So you can use regular or anything. Just make sure you are having extreme black and white values. So make them really close. So I think this is the most important thing about VFX. Black and white. White means yes, and black means no. Like it's for the texture. If you want to emit fire from somewhere, you will tell white portion will emit fire, and if you want to do like all those matte and all those things, luma matte and alpha matte, this is same everywhere. Okay, so if I use a map, black and white map, obviously nothing will happen right now because we didn't tell it to use a map. Click on the use weakness map and now you will see it's going to tear only on the places where it's having oh, let me see if it's even working. It's not working, I think. Let me assign it again. And okay, now it's working. Now it's see now the look is completely changed. It's looking a lot more natural because it's not only tearing where there are like stress. It's also having that intermolecular force of cloth, which is telling only to break where the cloth is weak. And obviously, in real life, anything is not being consistent. It's the forces are going to vary for every object. Okay, so you can see how good it looks. The thing is, again, you can even animate this map. Like right now, I will say like for first like 10 frames to not break at all. I'll just add a keyframe. Uh, and after that, I will tell it to gradually break over time. I'll just turn it off. Okay, so you will see that it won't. Also, make sure you click on this animated map only. Then it's going to work only then. Okay, so it won't break for these frames. Then it's going to break slightly, and then yeah, then it's going to break the layer. Also, I can even uh, tell this to break, just completely break after some time. And if you go resimulate this, you will see uh, it breaks and it just completely breaks and it's really cool. I mean, this map things like they are the god of visual effects. Like it's a simple thing, but it's used everywhere from the lowest level to the highest level. It works for everything. Also, if you're having any trouble with these the display, I mean not a display, the solving, like if you're getting any artifacts and all, you can just go to the main setting and increase the samples per frame, time steps, or you can go to the bind solver and increase the step. Also, make sure it will change the look. Okay, now I'll go in the like cloth stuff and I'll tell you what each thing is doing. So multiplier for the tearing is like how fast your tearing is happening. I mean, if you increase it, the more the tearing is going to happen. It's quite straightforward. Tear limits is this is the cool thing. Like if I change it to 1, also I want to go back to my map and I'll think. Let me see if I can. Okay, I will add a new noise map because it's that one is being animated and I want to use a new one. Okay, So I'll use this map now, and it's not animated. So you see, I changed the tiering steps to one. So it's only going to tier for like from one place, and which is here, and it's going to keep on tiering from there. It won't have like more pieces. And if I like change it to 10, the default value is 100, which works fine for the most cases. But if you want to go like after a certain look, this is good. You can just go crazy with it. You can like do anything. May but again, one thing, like even if you if I change it to like very high number, it's not that's not what's going to happen, because my texture is still telling them to break only on these white areas. So no matter how more you increase it, it won't go like further than this. Okay. The tier distance limit is like, if you reduce this distance to let's say 0, it's not going to increase. The tiering is not going to increase. The distance from where the tiering is starting, it's not going to go very far. So just play with it. You will know it's all hit and method. And then tier timing is like how fast it's going to happen. Maybe, I'm not sure. I didn't check it really well. You can go into the documents and you can see it yourself for this thing. I'm not sure what it does. Then there is this cloth solver. What it does is, like, even if you break the pieces of the cloth, it's going to re-simulate them, and it's going to like get rid of any artifacts if you're getting any loose cloth which is just getting stuck over somewhere. It's going to fix that, but it's very heavy because it's like calculating for every small cloth. So only use it when you're having any artifacts, and try fixing them with like cloths, like main settings and from time steps and all. Then there comes this mesh option. Obviously, this is generate cloth mesh. If you turn it off, cloth will mesh won't be generated. And if you can add this add shell to the surface. If you add shell, it will this will also get rid of some problems if you're having. This is especially good like if a cloth is falling on some object, and it's interpenetrating. Then this is like really handy. It won't just go through the object if you add some shell to the surface. And then there is this display things, which I already told you. These are like the solver. These are like the brains of the solver. You can just actually see actually see them, how they are how they react. You can see them. Okay, I think that's it. Uh, I hope this is enough to get you started with the with tearing some clothes, because it's not good to clear your clothes or anyone else. So make sure you are tearing clothes in the software. Okay, so also I this is really good software, and I'm a Max user. So Max users are like, they don't have good luck with good plugins, but now there are like really great plugins coming out from people like Tyson, who made this plugin. So I'll also make some and sand grain solver and all those things. I'll make some tutorial like later for them. Like, you can subscribe, or if you want. That's it. Okay, thank you.